Imagine standing before the ancient walls of Lascaux Cave in France, where mysterious sequences of dots and symbols whisper secrets from the depths of human prehistory. What if these cave paintings are more than mere artistic expressions? What if they are intricate messages waiting to be deciphered, complex communications from our earliest ancestors that challenge everything we thought we knew about prehistoric human intelligence? Consider the fascinating possibility that these rock walls are not just surfaces decorated with primitive drawings, but sophisticated information systems that encoded knowledge, tracked astronomical events, and preserved cultural memories. In Lascaux, archaeologists have discovered an intriguing series of dot patterns that some researchers believe might represent one of humanity's first calendars. These are not random markings, but potentially sophisticated mathematical and astronomical annotations created by people we once dismissed as simple hunter-gatherers. Think about the profound implications. These prehistoric artists were not just recording hunting scenes or spiritual rituals. They might have been documenting complex observations about their world, tracking lunar cycles, recording seasonal changes, or communicating advanced astronomical knowledge through a visual language we are only beginning to understand. Each dot, each symbol, could be a fragment of a much larger narrative about human cognitive development and our ancestors' remarkable capacity for abstract thinking. The cave walls of Lascaux stand as a testament to human curiosity and ingenuity, a mysterious portal into a world where communication transcended spoken language and where art was a complex system of knowledge transmission. Are you ready to unravel these ancient mysteries and peek into the sophisticated minds of our prehistoric predecessors? Join us on this extraordinary journey of discovery and challenge everything you thought you knew about human history. The walls are speaking. Are you listening? If you are fascinated by historical mysteries and want to discover what our ancestors were trying to tell us, enjoy this video and subscribe to the Dawn of Humankind channel. The period between 40,000 and 10,000 years ago marked a pivotal moment in human cultural evolution when our ancestors began transforming cave walls into extraordinary canvases of visual communication. This was not merely decoration, but a complex system of storytelling, documentation, and cultural preservation during an era without written language. Across vast geographical distances from the limestone caves of southern France to the remote rock shelters of Indonesia, prehistoric humans developed remarkably consistent artistic practices. These were not random scribbles, but intentional, sophisticated representations of their world. Each stroke carried deep significance, encoding knowledge about hunting practices, spiritual beliefs, social structures, and environmental interactions. In regions like Chauvet Cave in France, Altamira in Spain, and caves in Indonesia's Sulawesi, archaeologists discovered extraordinary similarities in artistic techniques and subject matter. Prehistoric artists demonstrated an astonishing understanding of animal anatomy, movement, and environmental relationships. They used natural rock contours to create three-dimensional effects, applied sophisticated shading techniques, and captured dynamic scenes with remarkable precision. The motivation behind these artworks was multifaceted. They served as cultural memory repositories, spiritual and ritualistic documentation, hunting strategy recordings, astronomical and seasonal tracking mechanisms, communication systems for knowledge transfer between generations. These visual narratives reveal a complex cognitive landscape. Contrary to popular misconception, these were not the products of primitive minds, but sophisticated intellectual beings capable of abstract thinking, symbolic representation, and complex social organization. The consistency of artistic expressions across different continents suggests an inherent human drive to communicate, remember, and understand the world through visual storytelling. Each cave painting was a bridge connecting individual experience with collective memory, transcending linguistic barriers and preserving crucial survival knowledge for future generations. In the depths of prehistoric caves, a young Paleolithic artist emerges as a pivotal cultural protagonist. Far from being a mere painter, she was a complex storyteller, knowledge keeper, and cultural transmitter. Her artistic process was an intricate ritual of survival and memory preservation. Imagine her meticulous preparation, gathering natural pigments from mineral sources like ochre, hematite, and manganese dioxide. She would carefully crush these materials into fine powders, then mix them with animal fat from hunted game, perhaps deer or bison, creating a remarkably stable painting medium. The fat served not just as a binder, but as a preservation technique that would allow her artwork to survive tens of thousands of years. Her artistic tools were rudimentary, yet ingenious. She might use primitive brushes crafted from animal hair, plant fibers, or even her own fingertips. Some researchers suggest she would use hollow bones as primitive spray paint tools, blowing pigments onto cave walls to create stencil-like images of hands or create detailed animal representations. The artist was more than a creative individual. She was a keeper of collective knowledge. Each painting was a deliberate act of communication, encoding critical information about animal migrations, hunting techniques, spiritual beliefs, and environmental changes. Her artwork served as a visual encyclopedia, transmitting crucial survival information across generations. Her working conditions were challenging. Deep inside dark, damp cave systems, she would work by flickering torchlight, often in physically demanding positions. Some cave paintings require artists to crawl through narrow passages or suspend themselves in precarious positions to reach specific wall sections. These prehistoric artists were not isolated creators, but integral members of complex social structures. Their art reflected deep communal understanding of the world, a sophisticated visual language that transcended individual expression and spoke to collective human experience. By creating these lasting images, she was participating in humanity's most fundamental impulse, the desire to communicate, to be remembered, to leave a mark that says we were here across the vast expanse of time. Prehistoric artists were far more technologically sophisticated than previously imagined. Their artistic techniques represented a complex intersection of creativity, scientific observation, and advanced spatial understanding. Prehistoric artists demonstrated remarkable technical skills by using natural rock contours to create three-dimensional animal representations, employing sophisticated shading techniques to simulate depth and movement, strategically positioning paintings to interact with caves' natural topography. Their technological prowess extended to material preparation, developing complex pigment extraction methods from minerals, creating stable painting mediums by mixing natural pigments with animal fats, experimenting with multiple application techniques like blowing, stamping, and brushing. Most fascinating was their proto-cinematic approach, creating paintings that appeared to move when illuminated by flickering torchlight, strategically positioning animal figures to create optical illusion of movement, understanding fundamental principles of visual perception millennia before modern animation. Archaeological evidence reveals advanced tool development, crafting precise brushes from animal hair and plant fibers, using hollow bones as primitive airbrush mechanisms, developing stenciling techniques by using hands as natural templates. Artists demonstrated exceptional spatial intelligence, analyzing cave geometries to enhance artistic effects, selecting specific wall sections for maximum visual impact, understanding how changing light conditions would alter artwork perception. These technological achievements challenge our understanding of prehistoric human cognitive capabilities, revealing a society far more intellectually advanced than traditional narratives suggested. If you are impressed by the creativity of our ancestors, leave a like and comment. Which prehistoric artistic technique did you find most fascinating? The creation of prehistoric cave art was an extraordinary endeavor fraught with immense physical and technical challenges that tested the limits of human endurance and creativity. Imagine navigating treacherous underground environments with nothing more than a flickering torch, your only source of light, casting dancing shadows across uneven rocky surfaces. Prehistoric artists would often crawl through extremely narrow, pitch-dark tunnels, contorting their bodies into uncomfortable positions to reach specific wall sections. These journeys were not casual artistic expeditions, but deliberate, dangerous missions requiring exceptional physical strength, spatial awareness, and unwavering determination. The environmental conditions inside these cave systems were incredibly hostile. Temperatures could be freezing, humidity levels high, and oxygen limited. Artists worked in complete darkness, relying solely on primitive torchlight that provided minimal illumination and constant risk of extinguishing. Every movement required calculated precision. A single misstep could mean injury or becoming disoriented in complex cave networks. Their painting tools were rudimentary and challenging to manage in these extreme conditions. Preparing pigments, mixing them with animal fats, creating brushes from primitive materials, all had to be done in uncomfortable, often cramped spaces. The artists balanced precariously on rocky outcrops, suspended themselves from natural ledges, and maneuvered in positions that would be uncomfortable even in optimal conditions. Moreover, these artists were not merely creating decorative art. Each painting represented a significant cultural and potentially spiritual undertaking. They were documenting critical survival information, communicating complex narratives, and preserving collective knowledge. The physical challenges were matched by the intellectual and cultural significance of their work. The extreme difficulty of their artistic process underscores the profound human drive to communicate, to record, and to create beauty, even in the most challenging environments. These prehistoric artists were not just painters, but pioneers of human expression, pushing the boundaries of what was possible with extraordinary courage and creativity. Prehistoric cave art reveals a profound, timeless human impulse, the fundamental need to communicate, document, and immortalize our experiences. Just as our ancestors transformed cave walls into narrative canvases, modern humans have found their storytelling platforms in digital landscapes, particularly social media. The remarkable parallel between prehistoric wall paintings and contemporary social media illuminates a deep-rooted aspect of human nature, our intrinsic desire to leave a mark, to share our stories, and to connect with others across time and space. Cave artists were not merely creating decorative images, but constructing complex visual narratives that preserved cultural memory, transmitted critical survival knowledge, and expressed collective identity. In today's digital age, social media platforms serve similar psychological functions. Like those prehistoric artists carefully selecting cave walls to document their world, we curate our online profiles, choose specific images, and craft narratives that represent our experiences. Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok have become our modern cave wall spaces where we chronicle our lives, share our perspectives, and seek connection. The technological medium has changed, but the core human motivation remains consistent. We want to be seen, understood, and remembered. Our ancestors used ochre and charcoal to create lasting visual records. We use pixels and algorithms. Both are attempts to transcend our immediate temporal existence by creating something that might outlive us. This continuity reminds us that despite technological advancements, fundamental human emotional and communication needs remain remarkably consistent. We are storytellers, memory keepers, and connection seekers, essentially unchanged from our prehistoric predecessors who first picked up a pigment and marked a cave wall. Our digital narratives, like their cave paintings, are not just personal expressions, but collective human documents that future generations might study to understand our contemporary world. In this light, every social media post becomes a potential historical artifact, a modern cave painting waiting to tell our story. Systematic patterns. Contrary to popular belief, prehistoric cave paintings were not random artistic expressions. Researchers have discovered remarkable consistency in artistic patterns across different continents, suggesting a sophisticated, structured approach to visual communication. Pigment preservation. The technological sophistication of prehistoric artists is evident in their pigment creation. Certain red pigments were so expertly crafted that they have maintained their vivid colors for tens of thousands of years. Some red ochre paintings from 40,000 years ago still display remarkable chromatic intensity, challenging our understanding of prehistoric material science. Dedicated artistic spaces. Archaeological evidence reveals that many cave sites were exclusively used for artistic purposes, not as living spaces. These were not casual dwelling areas, but intentional cultural and potentially spiritual venues dedicated to artistic expression. This suggests that art was not a peripheral activity, but a central, purposeful aspect of prehistoric human society. These insights challenge conventional narratives about prehistoric humans, revealing them as complex, intelligent beings with sophisticated cultural practices, advanced technological understanding, and a profound commitment to visual storytelling and collective memory preservation. Every prehistoric painting is more than a mere image on a wall. It is a complex communication system, a profound message transmitted across millennia, revealing the intricate inner world of our ancestors. These ancient artworks are not simple drawings, but sophisticated codes that continue to unveil secrets about human identity, survival strategies, and our collective cognitive evolution. Each stroke, each pigment, each carefully chosen cave wall represents a deliberate act of communication. Our prehistoric ancestors were not primitive beings, but intelligent, creative storytellers who understood the power of visual language. They developed advanced techniques to preserve their knowledge, document their experiences, and connect with future generations in ways we are only beginning to comprehend. When you encounter a cave painting, you are not just observing a historical artifact. You are witnessing a direct communication from our distant past, a message that transcends time, language, and technological barriers. These paintings are windows into the human soul, revealing our fundamental need to understand, document, and share our experiences. If these ancestral codes have sparked your curiosity, join our journey of discovery. Like, share, and subscribe to continue exploring the fascinating mysteries of human history. Enable notifications to never miss an episode of uncovering our incredible prehistoric legacy.